Are doing leg threading each side for 35 seconds with a minute 10 rest for 3 rounds. We're doing the ropes, so you should need a bed sheet, and we're just gonna mimic our ropes, hostages, and then super planks. So we'll go over those exercises first, and then we'll go through the warm-up. Okay, so leg threading, you're gonna go ahead and sit down on the ground like so. You're gonna go ahead and bring one foot up. So if I'm bringing my left knee up, my right hand's gonna go down near my hip, not behind my hip, but near my hip, so that we're not pulling that shoulder back. You're gonna go ahead and grab the ground with your hand, grab the ground with your foot, push the floor away. You're gonna bridge up, and then this leg, the right leg, you're gonna bring it in, and then straight out, so that now from my right shoulder to my right ankle is one straight line. I'm now in a side plank. I'm gonna bring my knee back in, holding my weight in my left foot and my right hand, stick my leg back out, and gently sit on the ground, making sure that my right shoulder doesn't come up to my ear, okay? So you're gonna do that for 35 seconds on one side. You're gonna do it for 35 seconds on the other. Take a rest as needed, make sure the shoulder doesn't come up here. We don't want your traps getting tight. We don't want your shoulder to have any issues or cause any impingement there. So let's make sure we work on good form there. If you want to take it up and make it harder, you can hold a weight up here on your shoulder, or you can spend more time with that leg and your butt off of the ground. So the longer you spend hovering from beginning to the midpoint and then back to the beginning, the harder the exercise will be. So the slower you move with your weight off of the ground, the harder it will be, okay? From there, you're gonna go to ropes. So hopefully you guys have 2 blankets, not blankets, sorry. 2, what did I say? Beach towels, okay? And if you do, you're gonna tie the ends together, and then you're gonna hold the other end, so that would make one big, long U shape. If you have a bed sheet or a blanket, you're gonna go ahead and pin it down, and I'm just gonna grab the corners like this, right? And then we can go ahead and do our alternating waves, our double waves, our side-to-side waves, whichever wave pattern you wanna do. Just make sure you stay in a nice athletic stance, back is flat. We're not leaning back into the rope that we have anchored. You're standing up using your core. You're not going to need your core nearly as much though with this because it doesn't have the weight of the ropes pulling you forward. But we're still not sitting back into it. We're just moving those arms as quickly as we can, making nice wave patterns. And as your muscles start to burn out, switch patterns, right? So the muscles don't end up being the fatigue point. Your lungs end up being the fatigue point. If you have 2 towels, you're going to hold onto the towel ends, and the middle is just going to flop. I just don't want anybody getting whacked in the eye. That's why you have 2, and you're tying the ends together so you don't have those ends rat-tailing around to hit you in the eye. Anything else about the ropes? That is it as far as that is concerned. Then you would go into hostages. So hostages, you're going to go ahead and get to 90 degrees in your squat, or as low as you can comfortably, okay? And then you're going to go down below that squat and come up. And that's it. Like that, you just hover from 90 degrees to just below, and you have just that little bit of a bounce. So from the side, if I'm here, it's just gonna be, this is my top, I'm here, right? And if I can, I'll show you from here. We're gonna go ahead and travel by going down, hot, land, heels first, and then just staying in that low little hostage bounce. Sorry, your hand should also be in the back of your head like this to get full upper body extension, get that chest open, get those erectors in your back working, okay? Those are your hostages. You can do them either in place, doing this like small, tiny hop, just in place, or you can travel a little bit. That's totally fine. That'll be 35 seconds. And then from there, we are doing super planks. So I'm gonna bring this foam out, just as a padding. I'm gonna show you from the front because I think it makes more sense, but I'll also show you from the side if you need to. So the hands go directly underneath the shoulders. Feet are as wide as you need to be so that your hips don't wiggle left and right, okay? So imagine you're balancing a glass of water on your lower back and you don't want to spill any of it, okay? If that glass is filled to the top and you don't want to spill any of it, you're gonna keep your hips nice and quiet. So keep your feet as wide as they need to be, dig your toes in, try to rip the floor. So if these are my feet into the floor, try and push open and rip that floor apart as we do the super planks, okay? Because your feet are staying on the ground. Hands are gonna go directly underneath the shoulders the entire time. We're gonna go ahead and drop to our elbows. So I'm gonna go left arm down, right arm down. Then I'm gonna go left arm up, right arm up. Then I'm gonna switch, right arm down, right arm up, left arm up, okay? And that's your super plank. And you're just going to keep doing that alternating pattern for the 35 seconds. So that's your 5 stations. We're going to go 35 on, a minute 10 off, 3 rounds. Any questions? If you cannot do the super plank or should not do the super plank, just go to pledge plank, right? So here, shoulder taps, or just hold that high plank position. That's fine as well. I'm not sure if there needs to be any alternatives for anything else. The hostages, the regression would just be don't go as deep. Just whatever is a pain-free range of motion. Okay? Anything else? So leg threading, just move the best you can. It's going to be tiring enough holding up your body weight. Ropes, just move your arms faster and change patterns so you can go furiously. Remember that the point of a metabolic is to spike your heart rate up as high as you can, as quickly as you can, and then during the rest period, bring it down as quickly and as low as you can. If you're still like a 7 or 8 out of 10 effort-wise, at the end of the rest, go ahead and skip the exercise, because remember that we want to make sure your heart rate gets down to a certain point. It is not about keeping your heart rate elevated, okay? We want to make sure you have that spike and drop, spike and drop, spike and drop in your heart rate. Any questions there? I don't see any questions on Facebook. I'm going to walk around on Instagram real quick and just see if there's anything. We're all good on Instagram? All right, so let me go ahead and start the warm-up. So since I have this mat out already, we're just going to crocodile breathing. So you're going to lay flat on your belly, hands going to diamond, forehead in the center of that diamond. And we're going to go ahead and breathe into your belly for about a nice 10 deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your nose. You should feel your lower back here expand. You should feel the sides of your obliques here expand out. You should feel your belly expand into the floor, but can't go too far. And that's going to help to push that breathing into that lower back area. So take 10 nice deep breaths in through your nose, out through your nose, fully exhale. Keep that lower body as relaxed as you can. And then we'll go into our head nods, okay? So nice deep breath into the belly. Blow all that air out. Keep that lower back nice and relaxed. Every time you take a breath, try to expand a little deeper into that diaphragm, into that pelvic floor. Really feel that stretch in your lower back and the sides of your stomach press outward. Try to get full expansion into that canister that is your torso. And I just noticed my traps and my shoulders, I'm shrugging up a little bit, so I got to be a little bit more conscious about just relaxing them and getting rid of that tension in my upper body. All right. From there, let's go into that Sphinx position. So we're going to stay laying on the belly. Get your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Make sure that we're not letting our body sag down here. So I want you to push that floor away from you. Okay. Lower body is relaxed. Legs can be wiggled. All we're going to do is look up, look down, head down while pushing that floor away. If we're pushing away so hard that we have to hold our breath, then let's ease up on how far and how hard you're pushing. All right. So I don't want you to just limply sag down into your shoulders and bring your shoulders up by your ears. But at the same time, I don't want you pushing and stretching so far into that extension that you end up holding your breath. We should maintain that nasal belly breathing. Very easy, gentle head nods. This is making you dizzy, slow down, or shorten your range of motion, or a combination of the two. Okay. From here, we're going to go into our rotations. So look left, head left. That's my right. I'm not that bright. Look left, look right, head right. Try to look at the bottom of your feet. Try to look into your back pocket. You can go ahead and even push off with that opposite arm to help you get some range of motion. Just making sure we're pushing into the floor, not letting our shoulders sag up to our ears. Trying to get as much rotation as we can without holding your breath. Okay? Main thing is I don't want you holding your breath. Whatever this full range of motion is, with out, holding your breath, and still being able to breathe deeply into that belly. Okay? And then from here, we're going to go into rolling. So since we're already on the ground, let's go into a Superman position. Arms straight up overhead, and let's go into a leg roll. So I'm going to reach my leg. I'm going to look to my left, over my left shoulder, reach my left leg over. I'm going to half roll and hold here. I'm going to go look right, lead with my right leg, keep my upper body as relaxed as I can. And right now, as I did that, on my left, I felt my right glute turn on and feel a stretch. Probably tells me something. So I'm just going to hang out there for a little bit, take a couple breaths. All right. Oh, why do my lats feel so tight? I'm not even rolling on anything. Sheesh. What did we do yesterday? All right. Let's go into rocking. So we're just gonna. I'll turn sideways for this. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. You can do either toes pointed, so tops your feet into the floor, or you can do toes tucked in. I like to actually today I'm gonna do toes pointed, because my toes are getting a little tired being tucked in. They just feel a little beat up. I'm going to push the floor away with my arms as I push backwards into my heels. But even when I come up over my hands, I'm still actively pushing that floor away. Waking up and turning on my serratus, all those muscles under your armpit, your lats, things like that. Trying to look at the horizon and maintain my belly breathing. Alright, now from there, let's go into some crawling. So I'm going to move that to the side. Let's go ahead and get up off the ground just a little bit. So if you need to, you can just hold there. Otherwise, just take a couple alternating steps forward and back. So right arm, left leg, move together, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. There you go. And if you can't, then you're just going to drop back to the ground when you need to and go into a baby crawl. Just try to be nice and gentle with the hands, right? Don't slap the ground. Let's try to finesse, act like a cat, right? Try to be quiet and nimble. It is pretty difficult when you're holding up your body weight, okay? You're just going back and forth into that crawl. Trying to look forward at the horizon. All right, and let's stand up and go into a cross crawl marching. So we're gonna touch opposite arm to leg, like so. You can march in place. Well, that was terrible, I didn't touch. You can walk, you can touch thigh to elbow if you can, sitting up nice and tall. This is also a nice little gait pattern. If you notice, my opposite limbs are swinging, which is what happens naturally when you walk. Hopefully, it should. If not, something's wrong with you. Keep going. Just checking to make sure there's no questions on Instagram or Facebook. All right. All right, folks. Relax. Everybody got their towel, their bed sheet. God, Facebook is just messed up, huh? Make sure you have it anchored. You can either put it down into the corner of your couch, just lift up the leg and shove it under there. You shouldn't be pulling on it, so it doesn't need to be anything terrible. Put a stack of books on it, put a chair on it, put something on the chair, like canned goods, something like that. Whatever you need to do to anchor on the other end. Well, again, we're not yanking on it. Shouldn't be like a terrible amount of friction or pulling on that piece of fabric, so don't need to be anything too crazy. I don't think it can be anything like 10 pounds. Probably got to be more than that, but I have a 40-pound sandbag on it right now, and it probably won't be an issue. Okay? I don't know for sure. Anyway, so we're gonna start with the leg threading on one side. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I don't even know which side's my non-dominant side on that one, to be honest. And then we're gonna go and do the other side. Remember to get rest and water as needed. Okay, nobody's got questions. Perfect, that's fine. So leg threading, left side, right side. I just say left first because I'm left-handed, I think. Then we're gonna go into the ropes, if I'm not mistaken, hostages, and then super planks. Okay? Any questions? No questions. All right. All right, Facebook people. All right, just check Instagram one last time real quick, and then we'll get started. Cool. All right, ready? I don't even know what we're doing. I got lost. All right, leg threading. Go. There we go. Hopefully that thing beeps. So if you need, you can be here with a bag, pulling down into that lat to turn on just a little bit more core. So the longer you hang out here, the harder it will be. Keeping your shoulder away from your ear. I guess it's not gonna beep for me. This guy wants to be a punk today. I'll restart it, hang on. Let me just make sure my speaker is turned on. Yep. So it's this timer. We'll say it's another minute. So 50 seconds from now. So we're gonna do the other side. There we go. Put this back so it can be seen. Let me just double check Instagram real quick. All right, still in the frame. Perfect. All right, sorry, I'm gonna restart the clock. We're gonna go on the other side, leg threading on the other side, go. Even if we're off on the rest, it's not a big deal this early, so. Hopefully it's not a big deal. It might be, but we'll see. So I'm putting my hand here just as feedback to make sure I don't shrug my shoulder up to my ear because I have a tendency to cheat. Really drive that foot into the ground, drive that hand into the ground. You should feel your obliques here, turned on. You should feel this butt cheek, turned on. It doesn't want to beep. Oh, that's why. I think because I have it on silent. Okay, hopefully it beeps now. All right, so we got ropes next. Hopefully you guys like the homemade makeshift rope idea. I got it from somebody else. Not like I'm a genius enough to figure this out. I don't know who I got it from though. I don't even know that person. I saw it somewhere on YouTube or something, I think. Five seconds. Does anybody have more iPhones they want to get rid of? Go! It doesn't want to beep. What the heck is wrong with this thing? Because then I can use the computer for Zoom, and then 2 phones for Instagram and Facebook. Sit up tall so you're not even at risk of whacking yourself in the head. And relax. 45. I'm gonna see why this thing's not beeping. So 45. So 55. That's clearly working. It's beeping. I don't know what the problem is. All right, don't mind that timer. I'm gonna reset it in 30 more seconds. We got hostages next. Ten seconds. Then I'm just gonna skip this thing forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So just stay low, right? Oh, should have got this out of the way. Right here, stay low, hop in place if you need to. Try to land heel toe. Stay below that 90 degrees if you can. If you need to, we can go a little bit higher. Okay, whatever your fitness level is, just get as low as you can, pain-free range of motion. If you have the space, right, we can go travel, right? Oh, there we go. Now it wants to do it for me. I don't know what the problem was. And then now we're going to super planks. So make sure you're getting your heart rate down, get rest, get water. There's something wrong with Facebook Live. Is it? I don't know who's watching on Facebook Live. Is this still glitchy? Because it is on my end, but obviously I don't really care what it looks like on my end as long as it's recording fine, but I don't know that it is. So super planks, right? We're gonna go feet wide, hands on the shoulders, down to the elbows, up to the hands, switch sides, okay? Remember the alternative, holding a plank, you need an in-between, holding a plank, tap the opposite shoulder. So from here, down to my elbows, back up to my hands, switch lead hands, keep my hips as still as I can. Imagine I'm trying to balance a glass of water on my lower back and not spill anything. So I'm gonna try to tuck my tail under, keep that back nice and flat. So that got tiring. I'm gonna transition to a pledge plank. So I keep moving, still trying to get my heart rate up. And that is one round down. Fine for the most part, sticks every night. Yeah, Ian, I think that's what they were seeing yesterday. It's probably a little worse yesterday, so hopefully Facebook is figuring out that their live is glitchy. So, we'll see. But I don't know what the replay looks like on Facebook. Hopefully it's not like this, but I have a feeling there's a really good chance it is. So hopefully they figure it out. But I do like that there's a giant red blinking button over there now that says live and how many people can watch as everybody comes and leaves partway through the workout. Leg throwing. I was like, what are we doing? Leg throwing. Okay. So remember, if we need to, we're just here. We can just hold ourselves up or just go into a side plank, right? That alternative. Shoulder stays away from the ears, so we can just hold here, right? Hang out here as a side plank if we need to. Any kind of side plank is fine, really. You can go single leg bridge. This is some variation of a single leg bridge, to be honest. Really push that floor away. Keep that shoulder away from the ear. This fan don't do much. All right, we're going to the other side. All right. What is today? Tuesday. Oh, jeez, it's only Tuesday. Leg threading on the other side in 30 seconds. Is anybody having any issues with anything? After this side of the leg threading, I'll check Instagram in case there's an answer to that question. As far as anybody having trouble. Yeah, my calves are getting tight. I gotta focus on all that. So, keep this away from the ear. Grab the ground with your foot. Push away. Okay? It's your base of support. It's your base of support. Keep them grounded. Alright, going to the ropes. Facebook is glitchy. Yeah, figured. Still looks like that on my end. Sounds like everybody's doing okay exercise-wise, though. Man, I'm getting a headache the more days I spend in here. "25 seconds, guys. So we're gonna go ropes. I don't even know why I have to tell you that. You can see the screen. There's a timer now. What other patterns could you do? If you don't have ropes, you could just do jumping jacks. Really, I'm gonna do jumping jacks. That might actually get my heart rate up faster than these ropes. I don't know if I can move fast enough to get my heart rate up. But I like it. It's a good alternative. I mean, trust me, it still gets your heart rate up to a certain extent. It's a lot of burn though. A lot of muscle burn. Seconds is just a long time. I also need to figure out why I have a very low energy of push right now. Just can't push the same level as before. Okay, no issues. All right. Hostages. Whew. I am sweating though, but I think it's just because it's hot in here. So remember, you take deep breaths. Try to control your breathing, get it to drop down as quickly as you can. I'm going to sit up already, because if I don't, I'm probably going to stand up for hostages and fall over. Alright, so I'm going to do a traveling hostage towards you. And not back pedal. I really could gorilla actually, that's what I probably should do. I think that's what we did at the cert. So from here, I think we could drop and then on, that is rough. Whew, legs are burning. Super planks. Thank God we only have 3 rounds today. But 35 seconds is a very long time, I feel like. Oh, good. Everybody doing good? This is still, like, I'm breathing, but still not where I would ideally like it to be as far as effort and breathing wise. I just don't have that mental drive to push it for some reason. Hostages, super planks. I'm hoping it's just the heat. Although I kind of feel like I lost my mojo for a while. But the heat definitely makes you a little bit more lethargic and just tired. So I'm gonna go with super plank. So my wrists are bothering me a little bit. Obviously been doing a lot of groundwork in general. There's only so much you can do body weight wise. So if you can, remind me to go over that wrist stretch again. Kind of do some wrist mobilization stuff. So the more time I spend here, my hand off the ground and my hips as quiet as I can, the more tiring it is, the better. One last round, guys. All right, just periodically checking on Instagram. Whew. How we doing, folks? Who dat? No problem, Robin. Are you following along? I just noticed, and I'm hoping it's because most of you guys are like getting more into like going serious and hard on these workouts, realizing like this is this is the foreseeable future of working out for a while. But hopefully you guys aren't really chatting all that much because you don't have questions because you're tired, you're actually trying to rest. Hoping that's what it is. But obviously, like, the interaction is nice. Give me something to talk about. At some point, I don't want you guys sitting here just watching me work out while you work out, essentially, and just having a bunch of dead silence. But obviously, keeping that shoulder down away from your ears. Obviously, I want you guys to get the best workout, more so than chatting. So if that's what it takes, All right, so I'm just gonna side plank because my wrist is bothering me. And I can go harder here. Whew. All right, we got the other side. So this, oh yeah, I can feel it tight. Just sit back into those wrists. Stretch them out. Can't remember what the cars for the wrist were. Something about like not rotating through here. I gotta look it up. Anyway, other side. Yeah, good. Sorry, I didn't notice you guys were still chatting. Facebook doesn't scroll for me, so side plank, other side. You can do the leg threading. My wrist is bothering me, so I'm just gonna hold this side plank. If you need to, make it harder here. If you need to make it easier, knees bent, press that knee into the floor, press that elbow into the floor and hold. Just you creating that tension is gonna be quite a bit. Oy. Yeah, but you're definitely right, Robin. I am not used to working out every class, so there is that. And I'm still working quite a bit. Weaker on the right side for the leg threading than my left. Okay, well, it's good to realize your asymmetries. What are we doing? I believe ropes, hostages, super planks. 3 stations left. Let me just check Instagram real quick. Yes, resting. Do I miss you? Do I miss yelling at you guys for like doing things correctly because you didn't listen to me on instructions? Of course. No. What are we on? Ropes. Sorry. Whew. I have definitely been spoiled lately though. Like all my gyms have had AC, so I haven't had to work out in heat in a very long time. Like probably since I was a teenager in high school. Because even in college, like in Oregon, everything was cold, or the AC was on anyway. So high school was the only time I ever had to work out. With no heat, with no AC and just fans and heat, and to deal with being completely drenched in sweat all the time, no matter what. But the heat does burn more calories and get your metabolism up higher. But I do think it makes me feel sluggish that I can't push as hard. Because obviously, look, I can talk through that whole thing, which isn't a good thing. That's a very poor indicator of me getting a heart rate up high if I can still talk like this. What are we doing? Hostages? I'm so lost. Hostages and super planks, sorry. Oh, look at that. Scott's playing guitar. Well, at least you have workout music then, huh, Cheryl? Whew. Five people on Instagram. I mean, Facebook. Who we got on Facebook right now? Ian, my auntie, Melissa. Robin. Oh, jump to 6. 5 seconds. We're gonna hostages, guys. I'm gonna do the same thing. Hostage travel with a bear crawl, with a reverse bear crawl. Drop. Trying to work on my reverse bear form for speed, which is driving and kicking that leg backwards. Woo. And then, oh, Jensen's here too. Jensen, Ian, Nancy, Robin, that's 4. Oh, we just dropped to 2 people. Super planks and we're done, guys. But we're down to 2. So Ian, my auntie, Robin or Jensen, 2 of you left. Time we got 10 seconds. Super planks. I'm just gonna focus on tension and form of a high plank hold on my knuckles to save my wrist. But I'm really gonna push that floor away hard, get a spread between my shoulder blades, really rip that floor apart with my feet, create a lot of tension there, really tuck my tail in there, keep a nice neutral spine. Try not to drop the remaining 15 seconds, just so I can give my wrist the rest it needs, even though this is the last exercise, because we do use them a lot. Oh God, with this quarantine time. Woo! All right, guys, that is it. So, what do I want to go over? Any questions, obviously, and then I will look and see if you have questions. But wrist mobilization, right? Hold on, tired. So, get on your hands and knees, put the back of your wrist down on the ground like so. Put your weight into your wrist, right, which should be on the front part of your wrist over there. And then sit back ever so gently, really, really gently, because you're going to feel a stretch pretty quick. And just hang out there. And then rock back forward. Put some weight on that wrist. Exhale. Gently rock back. Stretch the wrist. Okay. I can't remember what John Wolfe made us do. There's something like you roll. I don't remember. Anyway, so there's that. Stretch. But then also, I'll try to look it up, but even just like wrist mobilization exercises. So down, up, out, in. You can go outward circles and then inward. Try to make big movements, as big of a circle as you can make without twisting in the forearm, right? So imagine that you have like a pencil on top of your forearms and make as nice and big circles in both directions as you can. And try to, you see how I can curl my fingers? That's cheating because you think you're getting more range of motion. So make sure you're driving with the heels of your hands to be wide in both directions. So imagine that again, drive out to the side. Imagine that you're balancing, ooh, that burns, pens on your forearms and you don't want to let them drop. What would our foam roll today? Hostages, thighs and hip flexors, main point to foam roll, forearms, inner, medial, lateral, both sides to help with your wrist. Traps in case somebody was struggling during the leg threading or super planks. That's probably about it. I mean, not that you, anything else that's normally taught on you, go ahead and foam roll, obviously. But as far as what did we work a lot in this workout that's going to be tighter than had you not worked out today, those are the areas we're talking about. Okay? If you need to see how to do those, let me know. And then I can put up a video or something on that. Anything else, guys? Check Instagram. Can't even get arms straight, too tight. Yeah, so just lean forward more then, Cheryl, and then rock back to your almost just like straight, right, where I was starting from. That might be where you're at as far as your wrist being tight. But obviously that is going to shorten up your range of motion, which does explain a lot of like why we have wrist pain for you possibly, right? Because we don't actually have, if you notice, I'm not completely 90 degrees in my wrist. So if you were to go on the ground, it's going to force me into 90 degrees, which is actually forcing me into a range of motion my body doesn't actively have. So that is part of it. So work on that. Work on, you know, the circles, keeping the wrists pointed up. You can do them this way. I don't remember. I'll go over that stuff at some point when I have more time to look it up. Any other questions? I think we're good. All right, guys. So Thursday strength. Saturday is a Zoom with members for our Metabolic, I believe. Let me know if you want to be part of that if you're a member, and I can send you out the Zoom link. Vids on the forearm foam rolling would be helpful. Haven't been able to do it well. Foam rolling the forearm is what you're asking for, Ian. You actually wouldn't be able to foam roll the forearm, to be fair. You'd probably use something like a lacrosse ball, like that, and then roll it, not with your hand, you'd put it like on a desk or something. But if that's what you're talking about, foam rolling, like the foam roll, the inner and outside part of your elbow, because you sit and type a lot or whatever it happens to be. Yeah, I can shoot that video if that's what you're talking about. Anything else?